Hi there, very good afternoon. Welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Market Fatafat with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Ankita Saxena. This is a show where we'll discuss all the top buzzers in trade today, which are buzzing either on the back of news flow or on the back of technicals. But before that, a quick look at how the markets are shaping up at this juncture. And it's a stellar recovery that we have seen in the markets. Stellar 140 points up is where the Nifty is trading 0.5% higher, 25,959. Very close to that 26,000 mark. Remains to be seen whether or not we'll be able to touch that 26,000 mark. It's been a little bit range bound over the past few days. Talk about Sensex, 420 points of gains on Sensex, 84,900 is the level that it's holding on to. Nifty Bank too, gaining about 120 points right now, up about 0.2%. Trading above that 59,000 mark. So yes, a good day coming in for the markets. Shriram Finance is the top gainer of the day. It was trading in the red. However, it has recovered from all of those losses and trading more than 4% higher, 4.5% of gains coming in right now on Shriram Finance on the back of that latest news development. That is the Japanese company which is going to acquire about a 20% stake in the company. So yes, Sankita, that's how the market is looking like, and Shriram Finance has become the top gainer of the day.
Absolutely, Shriram Finance soaring away on the back of that news flow. But let's get on board. Arpit Beriwal is the manager, derivative analyst and equity research, Motilal Oswal Financial Services, joining us on the technicals. Hi Arpit, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. Let's get going with the show then and talk about all the buzzes in trade. Of course, Shriram Finance, the first name, the top newsmaker of the day. In fact, right now it is a top Nifty gainer, up almost 4.5% in trade. Now that is on the back of the fact that Japanese Mitsubishi UFG Financial Group, or MUFG, is in talks to invest $4.5 billion for a 20% stake in Shriram Finance. Now, that marks the largest strategic investment by a foreign lender in India's non-banking financial companies. And also, according to the deal, MUFG will acquire 47 crore shares at a floor price of 840 rupees per share. And, the finance, also the landmark transaction is going to be the largest FDI in any financial services company in India. And on the back of this big news coming in, Shriram Finance saw that spike up coming in right after that with gains of 4.5% right now.
That's right. So Shriram Finance trading 4.5% higher. Arpit, hi, this is Kanishka. Shriram Finance, that's the one that you've also picked out. What is your view? We have seen a 4.5% uptick right away. If we talk about the past few days, it was rather range bound, but in the past month or so, the stock has seen gains of about 11% or so. Where do you see the stock headed now? Could these gains that we have seen today continue for the week to come?
Very good afternoon to all. So if we see overall the NBFC space, Shriram Finance has been a huge outperformer. So technically, it has given a range breakout on the monthly time frame above 770, 800 levels on the monthly time frame in the month of October. And since then, we have seen a vertical rally, slowly, steadily on the monthly scale. The structure of higher lows is intact. Weekly scale, it was consolidating from last 4 weeks between 808 to 850 levels, and today again we have seen a fresh range breakout. The stock is at life high territory, but looking at the setup wise, and as NBFC space is quite outperforming, the counter is likely to hit to new life highs towards 950,000 levels with a time frame of 1 to 2 months perspective. So 850, 860 would be a major support zone for this counter. Slowly setting the stock can head towards 950, 1000. So from here on also there is more steam left to hit new life highs territory towards 1000 plus levels.
All right, so more steam for new life highs, 950 to 1,000. That's the target you could look at for a period of 1 to 2 months. Thanks, Arpit, for that view. But let's move on and get you another buzzer in trade today. It's GPT Infra. Now, this one is in focus after it has announced that its joint venture has secured a major infrastructure contract that's worth over 1,800 crore rupees from the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, that is MCGM. Now, this project involves construction of a flyover along the LBS mark connecting Kurla to Ghatkopar West. It's a key stretch in Mumbai. Now, the execution period is going to be 36 months. That's excluding the monsoon season, of course. The order has been awarded to a joint venture with GPT Infrastructure holding about a 20% stake in the JV. This translates into an order value of about 469 crores for GPT. And from a business perspective, this win adds approximately 469 crore to GDP's executable order book. So yes, a big gain coming, big order book coming for GPT Infrastructure, and hence the stock is trading about 2% higher. But yes, that's how the stock is trading. But we also caught up with the management of the company to understand what this order really means for them and what's the outlook going ahead. Let's take a look.
So give or take about 3.5 to 4 years is the time period for construction of this flyover. We already doing a bridge in Ghatkopar for MRIDCL and two other bridges in the city of Mumbai. So this will take our order book in Mumbai to almost 1,000 crores. Our total order book would be about 4,300 crores, not 3,900. This is to be executed over 2.5 to 3 years. Most of our contracts are for 2.5 to 3 years. And this gives us strong visibility over the next 3 odd years to the management and to the investors as well.
And well, let's move on then to the next company that is in focus, and that is ITI. Now, the company has identified 4 land parcels to monetize, and the combined size of the 4 land parcels stands at 91.41 acres with an estimated value of almost 3,473 crore rupees. And there you see the spike up coming in now, almost 8.5% in trade. These could include 21 acres parcel in the B area of ITI Township, which is set to be transferred to the Goods and Services Tax Department for a total consideration of over 800 crore rupees. On the back of this news flow, ITI is up and away more than 8.5% right now.
All right, so that's ITI for you on the back of that news flow. But Arpit, you've picked out L&T for us, the big, gainer over there. It's one of the top nifty gainers today, trading about more than 1% higher right now. But from here on, where do you see the chart headed?
If you see overall the capital space, L&T has been an outperformer from last couple of weeks. And if you look at the chart setup on the monthly sale, so from almost March 24 till October 25, the stock was consolidating between 3,400 to 3,800, and finally it has given a range breakout above 3,800 levels on the monthly time frame. That clearly indicates that the bigger trend of the stock has changed, and the stock is likely to head to new life highs towards 4,300, 4,400 positionally. So look at the setup wise on the weekly scale also, it is consolidating. But the good part is that in spite of market weakness, the stock is holding well at life high territory, and a good base is formed near 3,900, 3,950 levels. So I think from here on till it goes above 3,950 levels, the stock can head towards 4,200 and then 4,300 positionally. So L&T would be a preferred place within the capital space, with keeping stop loss around 3,900 for an upside move towards 4,300 plus.
All right, so upside you see about 4,300 going forward on L&T and a stop loss of 3,900. Thanks for that. But let's move on to the next counter that is in focus, and that's Aditya Birla Real Estate, which is in focus after Motilal Oswal. They've initiated coverage on the stock with a buy rating and a target price of 22.75. Now remember, the brokerage has highlighted strong cash flow visibility that is supported by robust customer collection. Now all of this improves balance sheet strength and execution confidence in the company. The brokerage also expects a financial upcycle coming ahead, with revenues projected to grow at 69% CAGR. That's alongside meaningful margin expansion as well. On the growth front, the company is expected to sustain the momentum with bookings CAGR of 26% over FY25 to 28. This would be driven by a strong launch pipeline that they already have. So yes, on the back of these growth signals that Motilal Oswal has given for Aditya Birla Real Estate, the stock is up and away nearly 1%. It has given up those morning gains, but yes, it's continuing to trade in the green, up nearly 1% in trade right now.
All right, moving on then. It's time for us to step into a short break. Don't go anywhere after the break. We'll get you more buzzes on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You tuned into Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena, and Anish Kanishka Sarkar. And in the next half an hour, we will take you through all the buzzers in the trading session. And Arpit, let's resume with all the stocks that you've been picking out for us. Titan is a name that you have picked out for us. Tell us what you see on the charts for Titan. I mean, Titan has been a bit range bound in the last few weeks. In fact, last 1 month, it has been range bound. Do you see some action coming in here?
Interestingly, if you see from the gold space, definitely we've seen a very strong moves in the gold related counters. And Titan, though in the last 2 years, if you see the time frame from January 24 till December 25, it was consolidating in a broader range between 3,300 to 3,900 levels. But finally, this month it is given a range breakout above 3,700 levels. And though slowly steady, the stock is holding a life high rating, but the structure of the stock is definitely bullish on the monthly time frame. And from here on, if our view is then from next couple of months time frame with a 2 to 3 months time frame, the stock can definitely head to new life high territories as we are seeing good action in the heavyweights, especially in the heavyweights counter. So the stock can head towards 4200, 4400 positionally with a 3 months time frame. So immediate basis 3850 would be the major support levels on the upside, 4100, and then positionally 4250, 4300 would be on the cards for Titan going forward.
All right, let's move on then. Let's move on to the next counter that is in focus, and that is Lenskart. In fact, Lenskart is up right now almost 6% in the trading session. In fact, it has got an upgrade rating from Macquarie, where they have initiated a coverage on the stock with an outperform rating, and they set the target price at 530 rupees. Now, the brokerage reportedly highlighted Lenskart's vertically integrated supply chain and strong execution track record as a key positive. Now, its end-to-end control over manufacturing, design and distribution is seen as a major advantage in India's fragmented eyewear market, helping on cost, speed and efficiency. Now, the broker expects this positioning to drive strong medium-term growth and margin expansion. Now, let's look at Lenskart, and the projected to add approximately 450 to 600 stores annually and deliver a sales CAGR of about 26% over FY25 and 28. Now, the operating EBITDA is also expected to nearly triple over the same period, supported by operating leverage and higher in-house manufacturing. Faster margin expansion, improved international execution and quicker adoption of smart glasses were cited as a key catalyst for the company, with an estimated 5% share of the Indian eyewear market, well below what is seen in the global category leaders. The broker sees significant headroom for growth, and therefore Lenskart is in focus today.
In focus, soaring away in trade. But Arpit, coming to you, you've picked out Ashok Leyland for us. Good moves coming here. In fact, it's the biggest. It's been one of the biggest beneficiaries of the GST rate cuts. And in the past 6 months or so, it has given a return of nearly 50%. Do you see more headroom for gains here?
If you see from the auto pack, auto has been relatively outperforming in last couple of months, I think. And if you look at particularly the charts of Ashok Leyland, Ashok Leyland has been clearly an outperformer. So if you see the monthly setup from last almost 3.5-4 months, the stock is forming higher highs, higher lows. Weekly setup also, the structure of higher lows is in fact from last 3 to 4 weeks, and slowly the stock is moving higher. On the daily scale, after a side consolidation, the stock moves higher, then again a consolidation, and the base of the stock is shifting higher. So on the immediate basis, it is beautifully holding above its 20 DEMA, and looking at the setup wise, major support is seen around 163, 165 levels. Till it holds above that, the stock can definitely head towards 185, 200 positionally with a couple of months time frame. On immediate basis, 165 will be the support zone for the stock. Upside 185 to 190 levels can be seen on the next couple of weeks time.
Alright, so 185 to 195, those are the levels we could see in the next couple of weeks, and 160 is the support zone for Ashok Leyland. But moving on to another top buzzer of the day, that is BLS International. Now, this one is in focus after a major legal relief that it has received from the Delhi High Court. Now, the court has set aside a debarment imposed by the Ministry of External Affairs, which had barred BLS from participating in any future MEA and Indian mission tenders for about 2 years. Now, this debarment was earlier communicated to by the company in October 2025, following which BLS had challenged the order in the MEA order through a writ petition in the Delhi High Court, and the court has now quashed the debarment, effectively restoring BLS International's eligibility to bid for government and embassy contracts. And hence, this one is a key mover for the stock, and it's up about 4% in trade today. It has given up some of those morning gains, but still holding on to that 4% gain right now.
All right, moving on from BLS International, that's up and away 3.9%. To grow, that is soaring away 11% in the trade today on the back of a note by Jefferies, that has initiated a coverage with a buy rating and set the target price at 180 rupees. Now, the stockbroker's productive velocity model mirrors Robin Hood's, said Jefferies, adding it sees a revenue growth of 29% CAGR over FY26 to 28. Jefferies also values Grow at a premium to its peer Angel One, as the former has higher growth, better margins and lower F&O exposure. Now, Grow has most active clients despite starting 4 years ago, thanks to the mutual fund funnel, easy interface and strong word of mouth. Now, last month, Grow reported a 12% year-on-year growth in its consolidated net profit of revenues of 471 odd crores in September quarter, driven by expanding user base and strong asset growth. On the back of this positive note coming in by Jefferies on Grow, that counter is up and away 11% in the trading session.
All right, so that's growth for you. But moving on, Federal Bank, that's the stock that you've picked out for us, Arpit. It's trading in the green, about 0.7% gains right now. But, in the past week or so, it has seen gains of just about 1.7% or so. Where do you think the stock is headed from here on?
If you see overall the banking space, particularly the mid-cap banks has been a huge outperformer, where we have seen broad-based selling across major sectors in the last couple of months time frame, whereas we have seen mid-cap banks are outperforming and trading in life-high territory. So Federal Bank is also one of the picks within the space. If you look at the monthly setup, it gave a classical pull and flag breakout above 230 levels in the month of October, and since then we have seen a good way rally. On the weekly setup, the structure of higher lows is intact. That clearly indicates that buying is visible at the lower levels, and the base of the stock is shifting higher. On the immediate basis, a huge consolidation was seen between 260 to 255 levels for last 8 to 10 sessions, but slowly steady the stock is moving higher. So definitely the base has been shifted higher for Federal Bank, with immediate support around 255 to 58 levels, the major support levels for the stock. And looking at the potential, definitely the stock can head towards 280 to 285 levels in next 1 to 2 week time frame. So overall, a bias will be positive, with keeping stop loss at 255 for an upside move towards 280 to 285 zones.
All right, so you could look at targets of 280 to 285 for Federal Bank. That's the word coming in. But moving on to the next buzzer today, that's Aeroflix Industries. Strong moves over here after the company has announced key strategic approvals by the board. Now, in a major growth move, the board has approved significant expansion in its liquid cooling skid manufacturing facilities, targeting rapidly growing data center segment. The company plans to ramp up capacity from 2,000 units a year to 13,000 units a year, that is by 2026 of June. Now, this marks a sharp scale up in high demand area. Alongside capacity expansion, there is also approval for automation and efficiency enhancing investments. This includes the installation of robotic welding lines and automatic welding stations for manufacturing flexible stainless steel hose assemblies, and as well as setting up a plant for mission critical applications. So yes, this is an investment plan, an expansion plan of nearly 98 crore rupees, and hence the stock is in focus, soaring away in trade today, absolutely up about 14% in trade right now.
All right, moving on to Airflex, to the next counter that is trading down 0.5% is Vedanta. Arpit, you picked out Vedanta for us. Tell us what you see on the charts for Vedanta. It has been it's been a clear outperformer, 31% gains coming in there. What do you see on the charts from here on?
If you see overall the metal index, definitely Hindalco and Vedanta have been outperformers within the metal index, and particularly if you look at the technical structure of Vedanta, after a huge consolidation between May 24 to almost September 25, the stock was moving between 450 to 530 levels, and finally it gave a range breakout above 525, 530 levels in the monthly time frame, and the structure of higher lows is intact. Looking at the weekly setup also, after a brief consolidation after 4 weeks, the stock is moved higher towards new life high territory. So looking at the setup wise, it's kind of a buy and dip counter. Good risk reward will be favorable with the stock corrects near to around 560 to 560 levels. That level will be a good entry point for the stock, with keeping stop loss around 530 to 535 for an upside move towards 600 plus 620 zone for a 1 to 2 months perspective.
All right, so 600 to 620 zone, that's what you should be targeting. That's the word coming in. But thanks, Arpit. That was the last stock of today. Thank you so much for your time today and joining us and helping us with all the technical perspectives. With that, we're completely timed out on this edition of Market Fatafat. Ankita and I will take your leave, but don't go anywhere. Closing trades coming up next.